Hi, everyone. My name is Jen Naberkowski, and I'm coming to you from Northampton Community College Center for Career Development. And today we're going to talk about the basics of a resume and how to get started. So welcome. First, it's helpful to know what is the purpose of a resume? What is it? Basically, it's a marketing tool that summarizes a person's skills, experience, education, and other unique information and factors that qualify him or her for a position, an opportunity, a job opening. It is the first step in a job search. So think of it as your marketing tool. It's designed to catch the attention of an employer and ultimately to get you an interview. Resumes are also useful and used for scholarship applications, entrance into colleges, or specialized training programs. For example, into a nursing program. Award applications, part of a portfolio. Perhaps you're an artist and you're a graphic artist, or you design websites, and you might need a resume to go along with that information in your portfolio. One of the hardest things about resume writing is simply getting started. So my advice would be just to brainstorm. Think of your skills. What are you good at? What do other people say that you're good at? What experiences have you had to develop your skills? Start making a list. Jot down anything that comes to mind. Maybe your summer job, maybe your babysitting job, volunteer, community service, any projects, clubs, awards. So really think about it and make yourself an exhaustive list. Again, ask family, friends what they think. Seek out input to help you identify your strengths. So once you have your information, you need to organize this. And so a resume would include, first of all, your contact information, phone, and email address. Information about your schooling, your education, your training, your work experience, your skills and strengths. So as a high school student, you might be concerned that you don't have a lot of experience. You're not expected to at this point. But think about the things that you've developed just by being a student. Perhaps participation in athletics, clubs, your church, community organizations, scouting. All of those things get you relevant experience that would certainly impress an employer. So when you're writing a resume, just a tip here, make sure the resume speaks to what you're applying for its intended purpose. So have a focus. Incorporate language from the job posting so that it includes keywords so that a potential employer could see how you might be a good fit. And keep in mind that a resume is something that needs to be changed, updated, and you can certainly have more than one version of a resume as it fits to your particular needs. Effective resumes are clear, concise, organized, and professional, so visually appealing. As accurate information, you never want to boast or stretch the truth on a resume because it's likely you'll be asked in an interview about the information that you've put down on the resume. So you definitely want to be honest so that you can support what's written down, the strengths and the qualifications that you've listed. Again, it has to look good on paper, so visually appealing. And focus your resume on accomplishments. And to do this, we would suggest that you use action verbs. Demonstrated, communicated, facilitated, organized. And again, we are only looking for a concise document, so one page is perfect. As you're organizing your thoughts, this slide shows how you could frame your resume. So first, contact information. You could start out with a summary, skills, 2 or 3 statements about who you are. You can call that a branding statement, summary statement. Your education is certainly important to be close towards the top. Work experience, leadership activities, community service, any awards, academic awards. And sometimes it makes sense to put your interests and your hobbies on a resume in certain cases. So this would just be an example of contact information. No need to put your street address, just your city and your state, zip code, your professional email, and of course your phone number. So going back to the branding statement, here are some examples, and I'll just read one of them. Honor roll high school student with an aptitude for customer service, has experience working for retailers such as Old Navy and Gap, experience using a variety of point of sale systems and price checkers, eager to develop management skills. Again, it's a 2 to 3 sentence statement that gives the employer or the audience just a broad idea of who you are. Then you could put your education, high school graduation date. If you have a strong GPA, you want to talk about that or talk about it in the interview, great, 3.0 or higher. If you're in the honor roll, National Honor Society, and then sometimes it makes sense to put courses that you've completed, especially if you don't have a whole lot of hands-on experience. If an employer knows that you've had some theoretical knowledge or coursework in a particular area, that could definitely be a feather in your cap. When you're writing your work experience, make sure that you are being concise. Describe your responsibilities in about 4 to 6 bullet points. Using bullets on a resume is a great idea. And show the results. So think about any of the outcomes that you've had as a result of your hard work. And an acronym to help you is what we call the WHO method. So on the resume, you're describing what you did, how you did it, and what was the outcome. So be specific. Other thoughts on work experience: show potential for more responsibility, advanced from youth leader to 4-H Council youth representative, provided club leadership for Habitat for Humanity service project, resulting in 50 hours of donated services. So that's the outcome there. Promoted from caddy to grounds student supervisor. And I would just say, even if at this point, you're thinking, well, I just don't have a lot to put on my resume, it's a good time for you to get involved and perhaps seek out opportunities that you can later use and show, and that you've accomplished something and developed your skills and your strengths and your career readiness qualifications. So other skills would be ones listed here. This is just a few that I brainstormed myself. You've had a leadership role, communication, problem solving, technical capabilities. You've worked as part of a team. Certainly your willingness and capacity to learn is important, especially as you are new to the workforce. You've had customer service. If you're on time, if you're punctual and dependable, and resourceful. These are all things that employers are looking for. Again, activities and honors, and if you haven't done a lot, now's the time. Maybe you want to join a leadership position in student government, volunteer, join a club or activity. Great way to meet people and expand your horizons, so to speak. So resume dues, keep to 1 page. Make sure that nothing's really crowded, so have a 1-inch margin. Be consistent with your formatting. You don't have to get too fancy. Just make sure that everything is parallel and uniform. Again, as I mentioned earlier, bullets are great. We don't want to see a lot of narrative or paragraphs with a lot of personal pronouns. We're looking for really concise statements. And again, as I mentioned earlier, visually appealing and easy to read. And then make sure that you have a professional email and voicemail. So a lot can go wrong when you're putting together a resume, and the big one is spelling mistakes, fonts that are difficult to read, disorganized, the document doesn't flow, unprofessional email, again, use of narrative and personal pronouns, blank space, incorrect contact information. And I put down here templates. Now, resume templates aren't terrible, but you have to be a little careful when using a template because you want to make sure that your information fits the template and that you're not using, having a lot of blank fields when you use a template. So I would suggest if you're good with Word or, with any kind of document software that you try to do it on your own and maybe avoid using the templates. So just to kind of wrap this up, keep in mind that your resume evolves over time. So don't worry, again, if you don't have much to put on there. Think about what you do have. And as I mentioned in the very beginning, seek out the help of family or your coworkers or your friends to help you do that brainstorming. Remember that good resumes get interview opportunities. And then once you're in the interview, you can certainly shine and work on your interview prep and hopefully secure the job that you're interviewing for. Now is the time to start developing the skills you'll need to succeed. So take advantage of career opportunities. And I've also included a link here to the Northampton Community College Job Hunters Guide, where you'll find lots of information, including sample resumes. So thank you for looking at this brief resume overview, the basics of a resume. And we wish you lots of luck from Northampton Community College. Have a great day.